Hello, this is Ian, CEO at We Offer Wellness, and I'm here today with Georgia. And something in your accent, Georgia, I can tell. So, where are you?
So I'm actually in Burnley. Yes, that's where I'm based, but all of my work's online pretty much.
Yeah, okay. Burnley, born and bred.
No, actually, full of a bit of a mongrel accent, to be honest. I was born in the Isle of Man, grew up in Morecambe, and now I live in Burnley. So it's totally random, totally random.
So you've been around a lot of sea air though in your life.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
don't get that much in Burnley, which is really annoying. I miss it.
Look, so okay. So you're doing your experiences online. Tell us about your wellness holistic world then, please. Give us some description about what you're doing.
Okay, so I do like anxiety and self-sabotage coaching. I'm also a yoga instructor as well. So I'm all for the kind of holistic route of things rather than just your typical talk therapy, which is really beneficial. It does work for a lot of people, but my coaching takes more of like a practical, holistic style that we're digging deep into past experiences, past traumas that have caused us now to live in a life where we're stuck in that fight or flight, where we're just anxious all the time, which is leading to overwhelm, procrastination. And a lot of us have these limiting beliefs that we don't realize we have, and things that are holding us back from our like wildest dreams. And I think people forget that we can actually achieve incredible things, but when you dive deep and you're like, oh, that's getting in my way. So yes, basically what I do is help them overcome their anxiety and help them overcome their limiting beliefs, their procrastination, perfectionism, etc., so that they can then have this like effortless energy to go after your goals. So that's essentially what I do.
No, nicely put. Some of the techniques that would be included in there. So somebody comes into Weir for Wellness. They may not know what they're looking for, which is what we always wanted. We wanted to create this amazing bookshop that's full of wellness books, right? And someone comes in because the front shop is looks amazing. It's got all these photographs of Georgia there and all other providers, right? And they go, I've got to go inside this place. And the music's nice. There's some nice essential oils burning, all this, right? And they go to the C section, and there's chakras in there, there's crystals, and there's coaching, and they pick up this book of you, right? And they go, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen when I get to that person's door? So, what are some of the techniques then that you work with people on?
So I have like my own three-step method. So with any like going after goals, any manifestation, anything like that, your nervous system won't allow you to step into that until it feels safe. So the first step before anything is to get someone back to their baseline, like that level where they're not in that fight or flight anymore. So my first step is always what we call nervous system regulation. So that's just taking you back out of that fight or flight or freeze or whatever you're in. When I do that, we basically sit down, so it's all online, but we sit down, we go through all the different techniques that people can use, find out what's right for that client. Because sometimes a lot of people think, right, to cure anxiety, I need to meditate or I need to do that you were saying about like sound therapy and stuff. But for a lot of people with anxiety, those things can either be like very uncomfortable or very triggering. For me personally, they were what worked when like when I was healing my own anxiety. Things like that were perfect for me. But for some people, the stillness, the quietness can feel really uncomfortable. So then we would look at different techniques, whether that's singing or dancing or just there's a whole range. So it's about figuring out the toolkit that works for that specific person. Once we've created that feeling of safety and the anxiety starts to calm down, then I go into inner child healing. So I find that not a lot of people have heard of it or understand what it is, but basically, when we are children, everything we learn about the world happens during that age. And everything that happens with our relationships with our caregivers can cause us a lot of trauma, even if find that when you say trauma, people think, yeah, but I've never had any abuse. I've never had any like really traumatic events. But as a child, you don't process it like that. So there can be a lot of stuff that has been left unhealed that when you start to dig deep into it, you're like, oh, so that is why I do that. So it's about making those connections and healing through that. And then you kind of find that once you've healed the past and you've created that safety, your body is in a much better position to then go after its goals. Because a lot of people are manifesting all the time. They're doing these vision boards and, constantly using their affirmations and stuff, and nothing's happening. And it's usually because there's either unhealed stuff in the past or they're still dysregulated. So yeah, once we've done that, we can then go into what I call subconscious reprogramming. So that is the kind of going after the goals, reprogramming your beliefs so that so then you can just feel like confident and capable of achieving what you want to achieve. So yeah, that's essentially a waffled version of the three-step method.
No, not at all. It comes across. I was also thinking, I don't know if you've got a history in the medical profession, but I'd imagine if you was like a dentist, it'd be wonderful because you put people at ease, you see, before you get in there with the drill. So, by analogy, that's kind of what it is. So I can see that your own nature has brought you to this sort of point in your life, and be yourself, and then let people come into that space, which is the space that you're kind of radiating. So I think it'd be wonderful. No, it was nicely put, lovely put, nice and clear, and online. So is it packages like a series of sessions that you offer, or how you doing it?
Yeah, so either you can do private coaching with me, which is one to one. It tends to go a bit deeper because it's a lot more personal, a lot more targeted. That's for 12 weeks. So it's like a month per the three steps. But I also do have an online course, which is called the 30-day anxiety healer. So people can use that as a bit of a taster if they want that. And then I also do like individual. So say if someone just wanted like help in the present moment with their anxiety, I also do like one-off sessions where it'd be like 90 minutes of looking at what people's triggers are, and what tools they can use to calm down. So yeah, so I've got the 12-week private coaching or the online course or like one-off sessions or audits.
Yeah, lovely. And I can imagine you really enjoy working with people, actually, especially being able to go to that kind of depth and penetrate that kind of let's get inside a journey together and walk beside the person. So look, Georgia, we're so pleased to have you with us. Glad we've had this conversation. People, please do come find Georgia, have this experience, make the connection, see what happens, really. And Georgia, thanks for doing this today. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.